He can't fuck his wife, can't fuck someone else, and he can't leave. If that is not hell, I don't know what is. And I don't want to find out. Today we're talking about one of the most prevalent issues in our modern society. Men don't seem to want marriage anymore. For the past 2 decades, marriage rates have been declining rapidly, and divorce rates have been increasing rapidly. And women who are normally oblivious to men's plights because of their abundance of options are starting to notice, hey, it's really hard to get married out this bitch. And they are wondering, why? What is the reason that men no longer want marriage? Well, I'm here to explain. There are 6 reasons, and we're gonna go through each one. The first reason that men are saying no to marriage, Minority Report. Yes, that is a reference, a great movie, you should watch it. Basically, there aren't any virgins anymore. The virgins have gone extinct in the Western Hemisphere. Now, that may not seem like a big deal, but you have to understand the church's main selling point for marriage when it was introduced as a viable option was, hey, see that girl over there? If you marry her, you will be the first and last man to ever touch her. Now, for guys, that sounds pretty good. That sounds like a good deal to me. You know what? I wasn't planning on being with a woman for the rest of my life, but now that you said that, I might have to hear you out, Pastor. Tell me more. The problem is that women aren't virgins anymore. So that main selling point, that main attraction, it's now gone because we know any woman that we decide to deal with was someone else's first. We don't have that luxury anymore. So marriage overall has decreased in attractiveness because of a very common reason. There are no virgins. And women will say, oh, men don't want virgins. You don't know what men want. If you did, you'd be married, you dummy. But listen, I digress. That's one of the main reasons why marriage has gone down the shitter. The second reason that men no longer want marriage, Faust or Famine. That is a play on words and a reference to the German myth about Faust. Now, if you don't know, Faust was a man who sold his soul to the devil for earthly pleasures, and it involved signing a contract in blood. Now, the marriage contract is what's known as a Faustian bargain, meaning very low reward for very high consequence. Now, in the origin of the marriage contract, it was originally designed to protect women, which at face value is a noble pursuit. You should protect women. However, that was during a time where 2 things were common. Divorce was rare, and women didn't work. But because those things now no longer are true, the marriage contract has now been morphed and bastardized into something that is designed to destroy men. In a standard divorce, men will lose half their assets, have to pay alimony, child support, have to deal with social backlash, and losing most of their friends and family. What sane, logical man would sign a contract that is designed to fuck them over, and it happens 70% of the time? Why would we do that? For love? If you said for love, you need to see a shrink. The third reason that men are saying no to marriage, Hancock Dangerous. Now, what do I mean by that? That was a pretty clever one. I'm pretty proud of that. But what do I mean by that? You've watched the movie Hancock with Will Smith, where he's a superhero, he's a drunk and a piece of shit, but he should have a greater purpose. He's just using his powers for personal gain, blah, blah, blah. You've seen it. Well, in the premise of that, Hancock was an angel. He was immortal. He was invincible, and he was powerful. Until he decided to settle down with his soulmate. Once he did that, he lost his powers and became mortal. He became weak. He was now able to die. In a similar way, when a man gets married, on average, he loses his powers. An eligible bachelor becomes weaker, softer, less ambitious when he's in a marriage. Some men even become whipped, meaning that they no longer have control of their relationship. Everything that they want to do has to be approved by the wife. Most men know that this is not only a possibility, but a probability. And so because of that, most women would rather not get married because they don't want to lose their powers. And to be fair, Hancock didn't either. The fourth reason that men are saying no to marriage: sensual reduction. For some strange reason, once the ceremony is done, once the papers are signed, once there's an exchange of rings, the sex just stops. And it's like, where did the sex go? We was fucking like bunnies before we got married. What happened? Every man walking this planet knows a guy, has heard a story about a guy, has read about a guy that is in a sexless marriage. Now, here's the problem. The reason that men get married most of the time is consistent coochie. But the problem is now men are waking up and realizing that's a myth. In fact, you get more consistent coochie unmarried than you do married. I know, that's fucked up. So why would a man in his right mind sign on to no sex? And here's the problem. You can't bargain for sex with women because attraction is not a choice. Attraction cannot be reasoned with. And if a woman is no longer attracted to you, doesn't matter how much you beg or plead, she's not gonna fuck you. And here's what's worse. He can't cheat because if he cheats, he gets divorced. And if he gets divorced, half of everything is gone. And he can't leave because the same result, divorce, and half of everything is gone. So he can't fuck his wife, can't fuck someone else, and he can't leave. If that is not hell, I don't know what is. And I don't want to find out either. It's just a terrible, terrible situation. Now, why do women stop having sex with men once they're married? It's because they have now gotten the ultimate security. The man is fucked either way, but not in the way he wants. He can't leave. If he leaves, he's fucked. If he stays, I don't have to fuck him because he can't leave. So sex naturally dissipates, and women no longer keep their vows. With men now realizing that that is not only a possibility, but a probability, why would they want to go through with that? Please tell me. I hope you don't say love again, because that's retarded. God. The fifth reason that men are saying no to marriage: hell hath no fury. Now, we all know the rest of that phrase. Like a woman scorned. Exactly. See, when a woman is able to secure a ring and a last name from a man, she gets eternal leverage. And here's the problem. When women get leverage, when women get power, they become tyrants. Why? Well, believe it or not, it's not really something that they intend to do. But because women feel powerless, despite their overall effect on the male gender, they decide that they need to enforce their leverage. Now, why do women feel weak in general? Because of their physical characteristics, meaning they're biologically weaker than us physically, and their emotional variety, meaning that women are naturally insecure due to their variety and flux of emotion. So, when women get leverage, when women get power over men, they have to exercise it to the extreme. So most women who are wives have their husbands walking on eggshells to please them because they have that big old guillotine called divorce hanging over their head. And the sixth reason, or the last reason, that men are saying no to marriage, a good woman is hard to find. What do I mean? I mean that I'm sorry to say, most women in the Western Hemisphere are not marriage material. I know that's fucked up, but that's the truth. If it's not their promiscuity, it's their feminist ideals. If it's not their feminist ideals, it's the fact that they don't even know what men want in a wife. How can you be something that you don't know the characteristics of? And the thing is, they don't care. They don't care. They don't even want to know until it's too late. And now, why would I want you? You got wrinkles now. No thanks. I wanted you about 10 bodies ago. But anyway, I digress. So, women nowadays in the modern society are not marriage material. And because of that, it's just a bad deal for us. If women are constantly saying, I am the table, that's not gonna get her a ring. It's not even gonna get her a conversation. You know what? You go ahead and be the strongest table that you can be. I'm going to find someone who needs me, because men like to be needed. They need to be needed to operate at their highest level of efficiency. If a man is not needed, not even wanted, but tolerated, his existence would be miserable, and then the relationship will suffer by proxy. And it's a shame, because by the time women realize how badly they fucked up this whole thing, we probably gonna be fucking robots. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even joking. That is a very real possibility. The sooner that they perfect these sex bots, the sooner that women realize, you know what? Whoa, we fucked up. But hey, if you don't learn, you must feel. And it really sucks, because all you have to do to know how to be a wife candidate is this one simple thing. A good woman, a wife material candidate, is someone who adds value. A bad wife or a bad wife material candidate extracts value. If you want to be considered a wife, add value to a man's life. That's the simplest way I can explain it. Now, I know this all sounds bad, but to be honest, it's just going to get worse. The younger generation are realizing, hey, I don't want to be married because this shit looks terrible. More and more men are leaving the country to find wives. If men in your own backyard are choosing to fly thousands of miles to find women elsewhere, that should tell you something. That should really hey, wait a minute. The only way that things can change fundamentally and for men to start considering marriage again is if women as a collective wake up to reality. The problem is women hate reality and they prefer fantasy and delusion. So it's gonna get worse, much worse, before it gets better. That's it for today, guys. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been King's Wisdom. I got merch, link in description. I also do one-on-one consultations. Feel free to hit me up there if you have questions about women, relationships, being on your purpose, yada, yada, yada. I got you. All right? You're welcome.